Alrighty friends, check this slick trick out. Today we're going to show you how we turned a little portable storage building into our little cabin in the woods there. We're going to show you some of the things we did right and some of the things we wish we'd have done a little different. But before we take the grand tour of the building, let's start where the story really starts. So we'll start it right here. You know, in order to get a building down through the woods, you got to kind of blaze your little road that's wide enough to get the building down. So we cut out all the underbrush, a lot of small little trees, made us a little roadway there. So once we got our roadway down through the woods there, we already had the building. Then we had to find somebody to move the building to where we wanted it there. You can see my yard kind of slopes there. So we hired a guy with a rollback wrecker truck there to put the building on the back of his wrecker and drive around the yard. The building, you know, is probably 4 foot off the ground there on top of his truck bed. And you can see the slope of the yard there. He was kind of a little nervous there going around through here, trying to get the building down there to where we wanted it. He got right to the edge of the woods down here. He rode over a little hump, and that rocked his truck real good. And so suddenly he became real scared that he was going to end up down in the bottom of the hill or turn his truck over. About where that rock pile is there now is a little hump that he backed over. And he got scared and he said he was done. So he set the building on the ground just inside the edge of the woods there. Took his rollback wrecker and pushed it back another 10 foot or so. And said, you know, he's sorry, but that's all he can do. So then we had our storage building sitting about right here. And we needed it way down there. And the only thing I had to halfway get it down there with was a little cable power pull. So I took about 4 log chains, hooked it to a tree down there, and I began to slowly pull the building down the hill there. With each try, I'd probably get the building moved about a foot or two before I had to readjust. And then I had so many chains that it took most of the pull just to get the slack up out of the chains. So after about 4 or 5 hours of working with all them chains and stuff, we finally decided to get a little 4-wheel drive SUV. We hitched up to the building and finished dragging it down the hill to where it's sitting today. In the grand scheme of things, I wanted the building where the building was on the edge of the cliff down there. But we didn't think that was a really practicable way to put the building. And in the grand scheme of things, we all voted on it. But I wanted the building to sit way down there. But instead, I was outvoted 2-1. My vote counting 1, her vote counting 2. So the building ended up to be right there. It's still an awesome view overlooking the river there. So we got the building there facing the direction we want it. So we had to start jacking up the building and then putting some blocks under it. We got it all leveled up with blocks under it. In the beginning, we had one single blocks under it there going up and down. But everybody that come by looked at it and said, man, I'd be scared of getting that building, scared to roll down the hill. So we did decide to double block it on the downhill side. And it is still single blocked on the uphill side. And really, because it's under a hill, we get very little wind here. But in order to make people happy, we did what we did. The thing I think I'd do different, they say that anytime you put wood on top of a concrete block, those are treated boards there, but I believe I'd put a layer of plastic under it next time, and that way keep the wood off the block altogether. Something about the moisture in the concrete rots the wood. Those are treated boards sitting on top of the blocks, but if I had it to do again, I believe I'd go ahead and put a little layer of plastic under the wood there. And this little storage building is an 8x12. And you think about, you know, a storage building is a storage building, but the smaller buildings like this, an 8x12, is not as tall as the larger buildings. So we, here's the original door. We got a little makeshift deck for there. We had that door, and we wanted to put it a regular door into our building there, but the building wasn't tall enough, so we had to kick off the bottom plate of the door, and you can see we had to cut our door down to size so we could have a regular type door in the thing. I'm sure you could special order some kind of door for it, but we went with what we had there, and that's how we rode. Here on the back side of the building, we decided we wanted to put 2 windows in. That is a new construction window. We framed it out on the inside, cut it out, and then as you can see, we just nailed the new construction window in there. It does have a flange in here. In the grand scheme of things, I think we're going to probably put vinyl siding on this building, so that'll work well in the future there when we go to put our siding in. We already have J-channel around the windows, or if we decide to put metal on it or whatever there. We did roll with I think there are 2 3-foot by 3-foot windows on the back side. And where there's no great view, again, we did put the same size 3-foot by 3-foot window on this side of the building. And when it got to where we're overlooking the great view, somebody had a bright idea there. Why not put in larger windows? So there's the side that's overlooking the water there. We did go with 3, probably 3-foot by 4-foot or 5-foot windows there, so we can have a great view there when we're inside the building. So we'll go inside and we'll show you a few things that we did right and a few things we probably did wrong. Like I say, it is a work in process there. And you know, this is our first conversion there. So anytime you do anything for the first time, you're gonna get some things right. You're gonna make a few mistakes along the way. You know, life is better at the cabin. But you can see there's our $1 million view there, overlooking the river and the field there. We did insulate the building. Then we did put up some stone paneling there. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think we're gonna make a little fireplace right there. And you can see that once you nailed your windows in there, you got a wood frame. Then we did take expanding foam and spray in the gap so it's airtight. And then all you gotta do to trim out your windows is cut out the little gaps there, so you can lay a 1x4 or whatever size trim you want to start with there. It goes into the bottom. Trim you down some board so it sits flush with the wall. Nail the top board up and nail a board on each side. And that's basically how you start to trim out a window. On this building we did, after we got our basic square there, we put a Rosetta block on the top of each corner. And then we put some fancy, those are actually beaded boards on this window, where you can see where got the little grooves. And then all we got left to do on that window is we'll cut us a little fancy angled board and put it on the bottom. And the window be trimmed out. We did kind of make a mistake on this building though. We got beaded boards on this window, and we have fluted boards on that window, if you can see the difference. I guess I had a version of each. I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention. So I did one window one way with the fluted wood, and one window with the beaded boards. So that's a rework in progress there. We do have to trim out the door and the rest of these windows. I think that's some, actually I think that's a baseboard board for the floor. We're probably going to put that all the way around the top there. And we might put some quarter round in the corners there, if you can see there, to hide the ugly gap from one kind of paneling to the other in all the corners there. That'll make that look fancy. But all in all, this is our little cabin in the woods. It's an excellent place to come from the storm. Cool place to collect your thoughts and plan your next day. Laughter and friends are always welcome. We got a little bed though there for Max and Cujo to relax. We got a nice, comfortable, easy chair there. We got a fancy little DeWalt fan there to keep us cool. We do actually have and it is getting to be that time of the year there, a nice little DeWalt propane heater to heat the joint up there, so we can come down here no matter what the temperature is outside. We'll be nice and cozy on the inside. That is an awesome view, and so we hope you guys will learn something there on the video. Like I say, it is a work in progress there. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think we're going to build some kind of deck around it there. And the building is getting a few years on it there. We're either gonna have to paint it, put some metal on the outside of it, vinyl or something other. But that's our little cabin in the woods. Cool place to hang out or spend the night. If y'all got any slick tricks or tips or anything else, leave them in the comments there. I believe one day soon we're gonna put a new roof on this baby. We'll do a roofing video on that. Y'all, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Hope y'all having a great day. We'll see you on the other side. Bye.